Have you ever been in a life situation between death and life in such a deep distress where you were about to take your last few breaths? This satsang will be very profound. I will share with you one of the most beautiful, mystical, mysterious moment of my life, beloved. When how can I say, I was to the point of leaving my body. I really thought I was leaving for good when I had this anaphylactic shock reaction to chemotherapy when I was, only 47 years old. This is over almost 18 years ago, and I'm here today. This was not a near-death experience. This is a miracle. And my spiritual encounter with the Christ consciousness, fully alive, is grace that I'm here today to share what I'm about to share, this very profound mystical experience. This is not testimony, a religious testimony. This is deep, deep spiritual, profound wisdom, life experience, very rare. And I will impart also some beautiful, powerful teaching that will just amaze you. So enlightened about the life of Jesus Christ, His teaching in the yogic tradition. And we will have an enlightening, powerful meditation at the end. So today, and with divine transmission also, remember there's always divine transmission happening. So this evening, I should say, this evening is Christmas Eve, December 24, 2025. I cannot think of a better thing to do to be here with you as one heart, one soul, one spirit, one being, one consciousness, to go deep into the most mysterious, mystical, phenomenal subject of Christ consciousness and my miracle. And let me start with the story. Some of you have read Becoming the Light, Realize Your True Enlightened Nature, so you know, but there's certain things you don't know, because I haven't revealed everything, and I have had a lot of realizations since then. It's over 18 years ago, so. And by the way, I have had very close friends who had also breast cancer. I was advanced stage 3, almost 4. It had metastasized in my lymph node. And some of those friends passed on within a few years after treatment. I have seen so many of them leaving, transitioning. They didn't even make it for 5 years. Which 5 years is considered great success after having gone through everything I've gone through. So it happened. One last thing before I go further. Again, this is a very spiritual, deep experience, mystical experience that will touch your soul and your spirit forever and ever. But it is a spiritual, not in terms of religious dogma, or I am not a Christian, I am not a Buddhist, I am not an Hindu, I'm not a Muslim, I am not any of those so-called religion. That's the path of enlightenment, walking from untruth to truth, darkness to light, ignorance through enlightenment. And that is the path of God realization. And that story happened, it was on April 2007. I was 47 years old, and I had seen the cancer growing like a snake going up underneath my arm, and I didn't want to face it, and I was denying it. And even though I was fully conscious it was happening, I was not prepared to what I was going to go through. And but I didn't wait too long, but still it was too long. My life was definitely threatened because it was already metastasized. And so just to fast forward a little bit on that story, in those days I was with my ex-husband, and that night when I was diagnosed that week, I knew. I had a premonition, I knew. There's no question why. When my gynecologist called, I knew it. And he was more worried and mortified. I said, don't worry, I trust, I have faith, I know. But what I didn't expect is what I'm going to share with you, which will blow your mind. And so that same night, I think, my ex-husband was traveling on the East Coast and I was alone. And we had seen the gynecologist, and they told me I needed to have a mastectomy and that I had to go through chemotherapy and 6 months of intense chemotherapy. And we're talking about really intense, and 3 months of daily radiation. And I was mortified by the treatment, not losing my life. Because remember, if some of you have watched my near-death experience, you know, I have no fear of death. Abhinivesha, what we call Abhinivesha, that klesha, that defilement, that is the one that impedes most seeker, that fear of death, for this one is gone, has been gone for so long. So I didn't have that. And so he left, and I was alone, and I had to face my fear, my limitation, and that limitation for this one was losing my hair. I didn't realize at that time losing my hair was losing my femininity. Losing my hair, losing my eyebrow, my eyelashes was really scary. But I didn't realize what was behind it. It was that identification with the sex gender. So here I was looking at myself in the mirror, and I was washing my face, and suddenly it hit me. I look at myself in the mirror, and I had this moment. And I screamed to God. I said to God, I can't remember exactly those words in this moment, but I remember when I was dying though, and I'm getting there. But I look at myself and I collapse to the ground. I scream and I call God, my creator, whatever name you call it. And in the pool, I just collapsed to the floor. The intensity of my call and my soul and my spirit was so deep and so profound. And I just collapsed, and that was a fire burning, like literally I was feeling this burning fire going all over. And I was literally on the ground. And I realized very recently was the moment the Holy Spirit came to me. You could call it the Holy Spirit, you could call it the Kundalini Shakti, primordial, feminine, divine energy. It's the same. All in different tradition, different religion, they call it different name. In China, I think they call it Qi. In Japan, they call it Qi. There are many names, but it's universal. That universal primordial energy, the Spirit of God, our Creator, our Source, I felt it. in that moment, something happened very deep, very profound. And when I realized and I accepted to bear my own cross, and I went to sleep that night, lay down in bed, and I pulled the blanket of divine grace. All my fear were gone. I had completely surrendered. I said, God, take my spirit in your hands. I trust. And I remember that was this deep, deep sense of inner peace and bliss when you're touched by the Spirit. That's such a profound peace. I remember I put the blanket and I felt like whatever happened, Divine Mother, Yogi, we call God Divine Mother. I said, it's okay. If it's my time to go, I surrender. And I fell asleep like a baby that night in such a profound peace and a quiet ecstasy and bliss. And so that same week, this is where the major part of the story happened. I was at the Cancer Institute and I had accepted to do the treatment. Something inside of me felt like I had to do it. There's certain things are so sacred, I cannot even share with you. And I cannot share that part. And I did it for a higher purpose. And even though I was working with the Ascended Master, I had direct guidance what to do. I highly suggest you read my book so you can hear the whole story. But I will share the most important moment here when I was dying and what happened with Jesus Christ. So we did the first treatment and it was AC. AC is the most potent, the most dangerous chemotherapy, and they told me, the nurse told me, oh my God, because when she started it burned my arm, it was burning my heart, it went so fast. And I called her, I said, it's burning, and I was like, stop it. It was like the burning was really strong and it was going too fast. And she told me, she said, I have to go very slow with you. You're very sensitive. She said, so I started asking her a question and she told me, this is the most dangerous chemotherapy. If you are injected the wrong way and it goes out, she said, it could kill you instantly. So I stayed there for 4 hours, 5 hours, injected it one drop at a time. And my ex-husband came with me and he left. He actually brought me there and I drove back. Well, we did not know, I shouldn't have been driving. When I walk into the house and I happened to walk in the kitchen where there was a mirror and I happened to take a glimpse of myself by accident. And I was starting to feel like I needed to go lay down. It happened like within like a minute. And all what I saw was a ghost. I looked green, blue color. And I went lay down right away. And out of a sudden, my being went into collapse, into a severe anaphylactic shock reaction to the chemotherapy. It was so severe, and it was like my blood pressure went into like plumb extreme collapse, almost to zero. And from the research I did later, many years later, what occurred is that my cardiovascular system shut down the organ because blood was not pumping anymore. And I remember I was laying down in the sofa and I felt like my brain, my skull was open and my brain was coming out, like someone was pulling out my brain out, and my intestine, I felt like I had dozens of knives just attacking my entire gastrointestinal, and it was excruciating pain, and I couldn't breathe almost. But the worst part was the collapsing of the blood pressure. My blood pressure is very low, just naturally. And it was like I became so weak that I could barely talk. And my husband happened to pass by, and I tried to reach out, he saw, and I told him, I whispered to him, I said, call urgently the oncologist, doctor on call. I said, I'm having an anaphylactic shock. Well, actually, in that moment, I didn't realize I was having an anaphylactic shock reaction to the chemotherapy. For some of you who don't know what is an anaphylactic shock, is your system, in this case here, the allergen was the chemotherapy. My whole immune system was loaded with chemical, with poison. And it shocked everything, my heart, everything. And so my organs were not receiving oxygenated blood. And often what happened in an anaphylactic shock reaction to chemo or whatever is the allergen, if it's peanut or shellfish, you also have a broncho shock, meaning you can breathe, everything swallowed inside of you, your lungs. You can die within a minute. The only thing that can save you is an epinephrine. They inject you with that potent medicine to stop the histamine that's going on in your system. So many people have died of anaphylactic shock reaction to the chemotherapy. Not chemo, I mean, some for sure, but to other allergen. But chemo is probably the worst, because when your system is being poisoned, literally, this is what happened. I was poisoned. And I remember I had my period that day. It was the last time I ever seen my period. I felt like there was a force, like ants pulling out my reproductive organ. And I was so weak. I was so pale. I was collapsing and collapsing. And as my ex-husband picked up the phone, and he was in the kitchen and placing the call, I placed my call. I knew I was leaving my body. I knew. I called upon Jesus Christ. My love for him since I was a little child was always there. That Christ consciousness. I felt this wave. I don't know how to explain it. It was such a moment when I call upon the divine grace of our Creator. In those last few moments, I knew even if an ambulance would have come, even if it would have taken 5-10 minutes, I would have been gone only divine grace could have saved me in that moment. And all I share to you, beloved, comes from my soul and my spirit. What I felt, I said to Jesus Christ in a deep moment of distress. I said to you, and I spoke to God, and I said exactly what Jesus Christ said on the cross. I said, why have you forsake me, God? Why have you forsaken me? And I surrender in this deep moment. I surrender my everything. If I was going to go, I gave my spirit to God. I trusted in this moment. And I did not know, my cry of my soul was so profound. And out of a sudden, I felt this wave, this energetic force, this etheric, this divine light, this presence. How can you say, how can you express the inexpressible? And I just felt like it just came true. And in that moment, it was like flowing a new life force into my being, into those last moments when I was exactly whispering to God, to our Creator. We could say to the Divine Mother, in this moment, my God, why have you forsaken me? And I knew I was not alone. I knew in that moment that even if I left my body, I was being taken care of. But there was a higher force. How could you explain a mystical experience like that? But that divine light of Christ consciousness came in those last few breaths, came and just took and just came through all my being and enveloped me with this divine love, this divine light, this divine presence, and just revived me and brought me back to life. This was my crucifixion. Today, in preparation to this satsang, I sob a lot. I pray, I cry a lot with tear of deep gratitude in my heart that Christ consciousness is so alive, beloved, so beautiful, pure. And I think that's why in this moment of deep distress, that you know you're never alone. If you are deeply pure and sincere in your soul, and you're calling with so much love and devotion, miracle happen. And that, to me, was not a near-death experience. This was a miracle, and that was by His grace. And again, this is spiritual. I'm not religious at all, but I felt like it was time for Devi Mayi Ma to share that with you and to talk to you about the divine Christ consciousness, what it is beyond religion. What was the life of Jesus Christ? He was so misunderstood, so misinterpreted when He lived, when He was on earth. Let's talk about Him first, the man, Jesus Christ. It's been said that he lived. For many years, he kind of disappeared. That he traveled to India from, I think, was from 13 through his early 30s. He went to India, he went to Tibet, Nepal, he studied in monastery, he meditated, he had deep samadhi, he went in India, been with Siddha, many yogi, many self-realized master. He was a yogi. The man, Jesus Christ, was a yogi. And I have no doubt in my mind, I feel Shakti all over when I say that. You could say, in his own way, he was a guru, a full self-realized yogi, and a Sadguru. Because Sadguru from Sanskrit just means that. A self-realized being, a dispeller of darkness, one who is the light, the divine light, and embody the divine light of our Creator, of our Father, our Mother. It's the same. And he lived for all those years in those country, rich, so rich with spirituality and mysticism. And when he came back to Israel and he started teaching, and in his days, he didn't have a lot of followers. You could count almost on your fingers, maybe two more. He had 12 and one who doubted him. And you know the story, what he did. And he was a phenomenal being of light, a great Maha-avatar, the greatest, highest level of attainment, you could say, with siddhi, spiritual power, what we call in the yogic tradition. And by the way, is teaching, Jesus Christ, Jesus, the man's teaching, were exactly the same as Sanatan Dharma. I have looked deeply into that in many ways, in deep samadhi, in my inner voice, and when I hear Jesus Christ teaching, it's the same about oneness, about universal divine light consciousness. That's what the Christ consciousness is. The same as the Shiva consciousness, the same as the Krishna consciousness, the same as the Mohammed consciousness, our Creator, whatever you may call it, Allah, Brahma, Shiva, Jesus Christ, Krishna, Divine Mother, Supreme, Intelligent, Absolute Truth, doesn't matter. We are in the 21st century. And Jesus Christ, Jesus, the man, his teaching was way so advanced in his time. Because Sanatan Dharma just means that absolute truth, eternal truth, omnipotent, omnipresent, never changing. They are the tenet, the principle of the Almighty, the Supreme Intelligent. And it was all about ahimsa, non-violence, from Sanskrit, compassion, divine love, love your neighbor like you love yourself, the neighbor. Jesus didn't mean your neighbor next door, he meant the neighbor wherever you go. Planet Earth is your home. The whole universe is your home. That was Jesus' teaching. So is the same teaching of mine. And his realization was the highest because he had attained siddhi. Look at all the miracle he manifested. Turn water into wine, turn rock into fish. I think when when people were starving, was it rock or dry bread? He healed the blind, he healed the leprosy, so many miracles. And he would not even say it. And the greatest miracle, on the cross, when he called his Father, the most beautiful thing Jesus Christ said, that represent the ultimate teaching of an enlightened being, of forgiveness. He said, Father, forgive them, for they don't know what they do. I said the same for all the people who are going through chemotherapy in so many ways. And those treatments are so barbaric, they're so dangerous. A lot of people don't know what they're doing. The same thing with animal cruelty. That's very hard to look at. That's what ignorance is, when people live in ignorance. Jesus Christ's teaching was so profound and so beautiful. And by His grace today, by our Creator and the Christ consciousness, the Divine Mother consciousness, the Shiva consciousness, and the grace of that entity who came to me, who revived me and brought me back to life. I'm here today, so I can be there for you, and I can share that and teach today. And for you, beloved, to know that you can also attain and self-realize and fully be enlightened and attain those the ultimate of our ultimate potential of who we can be as human beings, because God is within our own self. Within is the divine. The divine is within our own being and is infinite and most glorious and most beautiful and unconditional love. And this is what I talk about, the blue pearl. The blue pearl, what Devi Mayi Ma always talk about, the blue flame of awareness. The blue pearl, which you can read about it more in that in my book, but I talked about it many times. It's that song. And here at Devi's Grace also, in some of our meditation, I teach how to work with it, because everyone has it within them own being. And you have it, even the animal, everyone. So the blue pearl, beloved, is the blue seed. It's a packed seed. The whole cosmos is in that seed. I know intellectually you cannot comprehend. Don't try to comprehend. It is beyond logic. But within contain God, all the ascended master, all the whole of existence is within. And that divine grace and that divine love is right there. And you can see it with your third eye. And that is exactly what St. John talked about. I think it was the Gospel of St. John. I haven't read the Bible, but I believe it comes from St. John. He talks about the Holy Spirit, that dove that is being represented, and that comes like a sharp, beautiful light with an opal surrounded of blue etheric light. That is the blue pearl. It's the same. Those mystical experiences are universal, beloved. And we yogi, we know it has been transmitted for thousands of years throughout the lineage, and my lineage, the lineage straight from Shiva And then the reincarnation of when Shiv Babaji Gorakshanath came on the planet and brought back the science of Kriya Yoga. Where is Jesus Christ today? Where is Jesus? That Christ consciousness. It's been said that him and Shiv Babaji Gorakshanath are looking out for us. They work together. They are helping our consciousness to evolve for all the children of our Creator, whatever name you choose to call it. And I can tell you, from my life experience, both of them are fully alive. And part of the greatest miracle and the greatest example of attainment of our full potential in CD was Jesus Christ's resurrection, when 3 days later he rematerialized his body temple and he appeared in front of his disciple. That is the ultimate of a Maha-avatar. This is the potential we have. So is Shiv Babaji Gorakshanath, the incarnation of Shiva himself. So is Jesus Christ. He can come right here. They are capable of traveling through space and time and rematerialize and come to you in flesh, beloved. Even though I did not see Jesus in flesh, but I saw him with my third eye. I know that was in that moment, he gave me his breath in that very last moment when I was lying there. And one part of the story I didn't tell you that was just so phenomenal. There's so many things. We had a beautiful cat. His name was Krishna. He was a very special being. I communicated with him telepathically. And he was the kind of cat, he was dead gorgeous. He was half Siamese and half Maine Coon, and he was like that golden blonde color with green eyes. Krishna and I, we had a very strong bond. We had rescued him, and I could communicate with him. And in the moment I was dying, I was calling Jesus, as you know, but he felt something, because he was the kind of cat that during the day he was never at home. He was always outside. And he would always come back when I would call him, like around dinner time. And then he would always stay with me in the morning and later at night. But in those heydays, he was like, he loved being outside. And this happened like around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I will never forget. I remember every detail of it. And out of a sudden, he came. It happened probably within like, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes after my pulse started coming back. And then my husband brought a compress of cold water, put it on my head. Actually, as a matter of fact, you might see some photo here in this video satsang. Maybe a collage. If some of those photos are low resolution, you might not see well, so we might have to do it as a collage, but we'll put as many photos as we can. And then Krishna came and lay down right on my chest, right a little bit on the side. He was big and heavy. And he just stayed there. And I stayed there for until 1 o'clock in the morning. I couldn't move. I was completely silent, and Krishna stayed with me throughout the entire time. And I was just there. I couldn't even move my arm. I was in the deepest samadhi, in presence with the glory of our Creator, in such a sense of deep oneness, and in the presence of Jesus. It's so beautiful, so profound. And until finally my ex-husband, who was so devoted to me and so great, he came and he looked at me. They should have brought me back to the hospital no matter what. But that moment of distress, of life-threatening, had already happened. And he knew I was being taken care of. He saw the light in my being. You will see some photo. As I advanced with my journey with cancer, when I lost my hair, wherever I walked, people made comment. And some people who were more involved, they would bow down. They would say, I will never forget when we were in Hawaii at one point, this lady from very far away walked, and she came and talked to me. She said, I could see from far away that light you emanate. And you're not alone. You have so many ascended masters around you. And I just closed my eyes and I had tears and my eyes was really moving. That was the kind of energy and light, that divine light emanating. So at 1 o'clock, he came and he said, I'm going to bring you up in bed. And he picked me up. And it was kind of hard because the stairs were very curvy. I said, let me try. And very slowly he was holding me. And it took me like a good 10 minutes to go up. And I was going very slowly, 5 minutes. And I lay down. I couldn't even remove my clothing, nothing. He was really holding me he could not have carried me. It was too dangerous. And then he took off all my clothing, washed my face, put the blanket, and I was completely silent. I had given my spirit to, I trusted the will be done, the light will be done, the love. Talk about the deepest surrender. In surrender, in trust, in divine love, in total devotion, only divine grace can flow, beloved. So Jesus Christ, his teaching was so beautiful and so universal. And so he was, the man was a fully self-realized yogi, so misunderstood, so they made a joke out of him. They created a religion behind after he was gone, based on belief, on dogma, on doctrine, and created war in his name, and so in other religion. And that's why religion needs to go. The only religion needs to be on our planet. in the new conscious evolution of our species. It's time that we are one being, one breath, one universal consciousness, which is the absolute truth, one God. That's the problem. Everybody fights for their gods because of belief system. What ignorance can do. That's why the path of enlightenment is the most precious gift, blessing you can have. So beloved, before we go into our meditation, this has been a very powerful satsang. Stay tuned because we're going to do have a special transmission from their grace, from His grace. And I would love to take this moment to invite you. From my heart and my soul, I have curated this special mini spiritual retreat just for you. For you who are maybe new on the spiritual path or starting to awaken, come. This is a gift. This is complimentary. It's free. You can just click on the link there. It will be in the description and on the comment. Awaken to your divine presence. It's a mini spiritual series, spiritual retreat program. Check it out. And for some of you who are ready and your soul is calling, if your heart, your soul was touched by this satsang so far, and you're ready to even go deeper and more advanced and explore the beauty and the treasure of you being, check out Radiating the Light, Life Empowerment with Devi Mayi Ma, where you will be imparted into the Siddha Satchit Kriya Ananda to really go deep into state of meditativeness and to start experiencing your divine presence, what we call Satchit Ananda, pure consciousness, omnipotent omnipresence, absolute truth, conscious bliss of our true nature, not because of an external object, but because that's who we are. So come and discover it. And we have one coming up very soon, I think in January, what a great way to start a new year. And reach out if you have any question. If for some of you, beloved, you are new and you were touched, come and join our beloved family and community. So subscribe, share this satsang with all your friends and family. And if you know anyone who's going through a cancer journey, make sure you send and you share this. Or maybe they're going through some other crisis in their life. Make sure you share this special video satsang, because it's a very special one today on Christmas Eve. And if you have a question and comment, write it. What is so far has struck a core within your soul and your spirit? And if you have a profound question, write it down in the comment section. I will answer it. So Christ consciousness is universal. So it's infinite, so is Shiva consciousness and Krishna consciousness. And this is the ultimate will and grace of our Creator, is that all true teaching will resonate true in your soul, in your heart and your spirit. So how it resonated into your soul and your spirit. So we will start our meditation. And before we do so, let's take a breath together as one soul, 3 deep breath, conscious breathing, soul, spirit, and it'll be about 15 minutes. And I will impart Omkara meditation. For some of you might be new, don't worry. I will teach it, it's simple. But first, let's take 3 to 5 deep conscious breathing as one God, one soul, one spirit. Sit comfortably with your legs cross-legged. Look upward towards your third eye. With your hands turned upward into the yoga of receptivity. And you look up straight. And I hope you have your ear plugged, that you can hear very well, you have some support. And we will call upon the Christ consciousness to bless you in this moment, to receive the Holy Spirit, to receive this awakening of Kundalini, of Mahashakti. It's just that, it's just the primordial energy of God that permeates every particle of the cosmos, even the insect, every animal. God permeates every particle of this universe. So beloved, when you're hurting someone in thoughts, in words, in action, in volition, you're only hurting yourself. Because that's the law of cause and effect. So let's take those deep breaths, shall we? Let's unite. And as you breathe, put your consciousness and allow you inhaling the divine. And put your awareness on your spine going up and down. Mindfully, consciously, unite your heart and your spirit and your soul with Devi Mayi Ma. And to the Christ consciousness. And to this beautiful, great Spirit of the Lord Jesus. And to Shiva, the great spirit also of Shiv Babaji Gorakshanath. And to the great spirit and the beauty of that entity also of Krishna, that reincarnation of Vishnu, that consciousness, that universal blue light pearl of our Creator. I bow down. And one last one. Just the last few words on what's most important about Jesus Christ's teaching is inclusiveness, universal belonging, and divine love. And as we do this meditation, we will meditate on that divine light, that divine grace. And what for you to realize that, beloved, that is the most important wisdom in this divine satsang, is for you to realize that the divine is within yourself, and that Christ consciousness that Shiva consciousness, that universal consciousness liberate, bring true freedom. And that's the path of enlightenment. And that is for you to bring with you, that don't wait until your last breath. The moment is now, especially starting a new year. Very soon, within a week, maybe by now that you watch this video, satsang will be in 2026. It doesn't matter when you watch this satsang, the moment is now to self-realize, to attain. Actually, there's nothing to attain, is already there. It's just getting rid of garbage. And so, let's start the meditation. And rejoice, because you too, you are a walking miracle. Not just Devi Mayi Ma. And I hope you will join us and walk the spiritual path, because a lot of work needs to be done on this planet. And we've been blessed with those great ascended masters. They're with us right now. So everyone is ready, is sitting comfortably, looking up. And then we're going to chant first. For the first 3 minutes to 5 minutes, we will do it out loud to allow the vibration, so you could feel vibration. Every vibration in the universe has a sound, and every sound has a form. So is the ultimate sound of our Creator, of what we call the so-called Word God. And let it vibrate in every particle of your being. And as you chant, A, U, it will vibrate A into the lower region of the Muladhara, U into your heart region, the Anahata, and into your ajna, your third eye. And just follow my lead. And just sit like a child, receptive, open. Leave your mind out the door. And just be with us as one. And so just listen for the first one for some of you. I will do it out loud from my chest voice. You see how long? Make sure that take a deep breath before you do it. You might not chant it as long as Devi Ma does, because I have a lot of experience with it, but as you chant it, make sure A, U, is equally proportionate in the chant, okay? And then towards after 5 minutes, you're going to chant it mentally as a Bijan mantra. And then allow it to calm down. It will change your brain wave from beta, alpha, and theta. And maybe some of you might even go into delta, who knows? And so we will sit for 15-20 minutes together. Shall we? Let's do it together and just follow my lead as we go along. And at one moment, I will lead you with the blue pearl as well. Make sure you stay completely until the end as the transmission takes place. Turn off the light. Make sure you have your earplug. Together. Ah. And now, just quietly keep chanting mentally. Now, beloved, put your awareness on your Anahata, your heart chakra. And feel the divine presence. And hold a blue pearl, the universal divine consciousness of our Creator that is within your own being. Even if you cannot see it, just imagine and see it starting to become a flame, a blue flame. And let it burn into your heart. Let it consume all your errors, your karma, your wrongdoing, mistake. See burning and flaming your heart. Low vibrancy, low vibration, low frequency, let it burn. And then bring it all over into your chest. See the flame going into your Vishuddhi, into your throat chakra. And percolating and burning and going higher and higher into your ajna. Consuming, burning every particle of your being. You're burning in divine love and light. Letting go of doesn't serve you. Your highest good, your own divinity. Let it burn. Allow that Christ consciousness to touch every particle of your being in this very present moment. And when you're ready, you can just bow down with Devi Mayi Ma. To the Christ consciousness, to the Shiva consciousness, to that consciousness of the Divine Mother, of our Creator, that Krishna consciousness, doesn't matter what we call it, that infinite, sublime, supreme intelligence of our Creator. And to all Ascended Master, and to all the living Master, we bow down to all the Mahavatar, allowing their grace to touch our life to the deepest level, inviting the flow of the Divine Mother's grace and her light into our life, and so of Jesus Christ. And in this closing satsang, I want to hold an invocation for everyone, either of you or anyone on the planet, either a human being or an animal who is in distress, who is healed, maybe going through cancer or other ugly, difficult illnesses or trauma or addiction, homeless, loss, or in deep seeking and turmoil, to all animals who need us. We ask the Ascended Master, together in the Mahavatar, to bless us all and to lead our planet to a new era, a new permeated divine love consciousness, and to bless all who are suffering. May they find well-being and happiness and true liberation and freedom. And I send my blessing to you. Together with them, I send all my divine love and blessing and grace. I'm always there with you, beloved. Always. Even when I leave my body temple, you can connect with Devi Mayi Ma anytime. And I express my deep gratitude to you, to all your support you have given us, my devotees and my disciple, and some of you have been volunteering. My deepest gratitude. And I express my gratitude to Jesus and to all the Ascended Master, Shiva, Shiv Baba Chikarakshanath, Krishna, and Gautamanda Buddha, Kuan Yin, so many. My blessing, deepest blessing for the new year, 2026. And even if you watch this video, that song doesn't matter. My blessings are eternal and infinite. And I bow down to you. Namaste.